2-minute answer. What long-term goals do you have for our community?
The first and foremost is to get the Village Green up and running. It's going to take 2 years just to build it out. After that, there's going to be further development because we've provided within the annexation agreement that not only will we go for the 450,000 square feet of retail space, which is that phase that we've got approved, but we have put some clauses aside that for 3 years, some of the residential cannot be built. We want that reserved for more commercial because we believe more will come. So that one is extremely important. That is our future. And that is the goal, and getting that thing completely built out and up and running and a proud jewel in this village's history. The fire and rescue station, again, it's just about to be built. The walls are going to go up, but it's got to be staffed. And we need to work closely with the fire district to make sure that not only do we get the walls up, but we also have the equipment and the staff to be able to make that operational. And of course, the Vista Hospital, that's extremely important for this town and for the region. While it may be located here in Lindenhurst, that facility is extremely important for Northwest Lake County to have complete medical care for all of our residents as well as those around us. The jobs that will create, that's 600 jobs right there. That is extremely important. There are 1,000 jobs connected with the Village Green. So while these are projects we want to see happen, they have other benefits to this community besides the taxes, the medical care, the employment that it's going to provide. So those are our 3 primary goals to get those things accomplished.
Thank you. Okay, 2 minutes to answer the question. Need me to repeat the question?
No.
Okay, 2 minutes.
I'm okay. From a long-term goals perspective, the Lindenhurst Choice Party, again, has similar focuses similar to what the Community Party has. We believe in a balanced economic picture, and what that doesn't entail is having 6 banks in our community, having Walgreens and a CVS are very similar things in our community. We think it's important to have a balance of retail like the Village Green and some of the other retail that we do have, but we also think it's important to have things like more of light industrial. We do have a wonderful light industrial business park, and we would like to see that gets replicated. In addition, with the hospital coming on board, we feel it's important to have an expansion in terms of medical office complexes or imaging centers, or really trying to make sure that we're attracting those types of businesses. The devil is in the details, and with the Village Green, what we will be focusing on is making sure that what it is that residents were promised is what we get. For instance, one of the things we are concerned about is that if the commercial doesn't progress quickly enough, it could easily convert into residential, and that's a concern because we don't need 45-acre area of a subdivision. In addition, the Fire Protection District, we feel very strongly in that. One of the things that we're committed to is making sure that any Lindenhurst volunteer who is on our payroll will be allowed to have paid time off for calls, which is something that currently isn't in place. And again, we strongly believe in volunteerism, so that's important to us. And then finally, I think that we've discussed the hospital at length, and again, we'll be doing the same exact things that the prior administrations have done in terms of supporting getting that built in Lindenhurst.
Thank you. Community Party, do you want a 1-minute rebuttal?
I'll take that, yes. One of the things that we would like to focus on are jobs, and Village Green will support 1,000 jobs, and Vista Hospital will support somewhere north of 600 jobs. That's very important to this board. Something else that we have talked about are trails and connecting sidewalks, and we would love to see a resident ride their bike from one end of the town all the way to the other end of the town. That's something that we focus on. As far as banks, I'd like to address that, seeing as how I used to work at one. Banks do offer something to the community. They offer the highest equalized assessed value, so they produce some property tax that is beneficial to our village. Also, Lindenhurst is attracting these banks because the banks are doing the demographics to come here. They want to come here.
Choice Party, would you like to rebuttal?
Absolutely, I would
Okay,
like
1
to
minute.
rebuttal. From a jobs perspective, you know, it's very attractive to say that Lindenhurst is going to get 1,000 jobs, and I'm sure that there will be some jobs that are created, but I think we need to really look at, are those highly skilled jobs, or, you know, is it going to be so focused on corporate folks coming in and leasing out those spaces that we're going to get folks coming in for low-wage jobs from Waukegan or other areas, and while that's important, again, I just want to make sure that as we look economically at what it is that we're preparing for our village for the long term, those are the things that we address. You know, I agree as well that sidewalks are important. I've gotten an earful walking around with a lot of residents communicating that that's an important thing, and sadly it's been lacking because in the budget process it gets tabled and they keep hearing that there's not enough money, but there's clearly enough money for, you know, $200,000 of developer fees that have been paid in the budget. So, you know, there are things that the residents want that they haven't been able to get at this point, and that's what we bring to the table. So again, you know, I'm very pro-development. Banks are very important.